I just set up this 13-inch wide Swampzilla deck, which I know you'll be thinking is way too big and sounds horrible to skate, but it is only 30.625 inches long and the wheelbase is only 14 inches, which is the key here. I'll go over exactly why wheelbase could be the most important skateboard measurement, even more so than the deck width, in a second. But I want to get a little warm-up session, get a feel for this board to see what I'm capable of doing, because I do have a lot of tricks in mind to do on this board today. So Swampy was able to skate the Eggzilla deck so well that Foz decided to give him his own pro model Eggzilla with his own custom dimensions. They obviously made the width and the length much smaller, but the reason this massive 13-inch board is still so skatable is because of its 14-inch wheelbase. Having a short wheelbase gives you sharper turns, makes your setup more responsive, makes your board feel lighter and pop faster because of its shorter lever, and makes flip tricks and rotational tricks scoop and rotate easier. All of these key features to a shorter wheelbase helps these massive boards so much. Yeah, it's 13 inches wide, but because the length and wheelbase is so short, it makes this big heavy board much lighter to get up off of the ground and makes it super easy to do flip tricks on. So now you should be able to see why the wheelbase measurement on your board is so important. The width of your deck is obviously important and influences how comfortable you are on the board and how heavy your board is, but wheelbase has way more of an influence of how comfortable you are and how your setup performs overall. So this board is feeling good and super fun so far, but there are 20 more tricks that I want to get done while I'm here at this sick little skate park. So let's get back into the session and then I'll go over what you should be considering when choosing which size wheelbase will be best for you and your style of skating. Way more speed. I'll do it. You have to. Don't ruin it. Oh, no. Take it. That was better. That'll do, won't get any better. This board was so much easier to skate than the 14.25 inch Exzilla 2 deck that I've got. Not just because it's smaller and the dimensions are smaller, but the whole thing just felt lighter because of that as well. And I ended up having a pretty fun session on this thing today. So when you're choosing the right wheelbase that's going to suit you and your style of skating, you need to understand the difference between a short and a long wheelbase and how each is going to perform. Obviously a shorter wheelbase is necessary for massive boards like this, otherwise they'll just be too heavy and too hard to skate. But a more average size skateboard from the 8-inch to 9-inch range with a short wheelbase would be more suited to technical skating, since it will make your board feel lighter and rotate easier for flip tricks, as well as being suited to shorter people, since you won't have to stand so wide just to suit the board's dimensions. A board with a longer wheelbase though is going to feel much heavier when you pop because it has a longer lever, but will be way more stable since you can stand with your feet much further apart for a more strong stance. This will obviously be more suited to tall people like me, so they can stand more comfortably on a board with their feet spread apart comfortably. For transition skaters that like to have a nice wide stance as well as they're carving around in bowls and transition, or if you're going really fast on your skateboard, so you can stand wide, have a strong stance, and you'll be able to manage the speed better. So a deck's width is still super important, but how comfortable you're going to be on your board, as well as how your board is going to perform overall, is greatly influenced by the board's wheelbase. And that's why this massive 13-inch wide board was able to be skated so well today, because it has a small wheelbase. For a deeper look into how wheelbase affects your board's setup and performance, check out this video right here. Or to see the first session I had on the Exzilla 2, which is 14.25 inches wide, check out this one here.